So this is part 2 for making a clay whistle. Now I have both pieces. I actually put them by the fan a little bit to remove some moisture, so they're a little bit more workable now. They're not quite leather hard, but they're not as damp as when I started. So one thing you can do is with your initial whistle, you can take the rib tool and you can go through and just kind of lightly smooth it out. And you'll get little pieces of clay. You can just pull those off. And what that does is it creates a nice smooth surface. You can also try the metal rib too, which is a little bit more flexible, which can be really nice. Just to go through, smooth it out, and make sure it's nice and even. And you can go back and work more with this later. And just be careful, you don't want that to close up because we want that to remain hollow. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now and then come back to that later. Pull that clay off there. So now with my mouthpiece, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a popsicle stick and I'm going to push it all the way through. And you want to be careful, you don't want it to come out, you want it to go nice and even all the way through the clay. Okay, so now I've got that on there. I'm actually going to just go ahead and leave my popsicle stick in the mouthpiece just for now. Okay, so leave that in there, set that to the side, and then I'm going to come back to my clay whistle piece here. So this is probably the trickiest part of making a whistle, so please don't get discouraged if it doesn't work the first try. But you're going to take another popsicle stick, or you could actually remove this and use the same one, but I happen to have two here, so I'm going to use a second popsicle stick. And you need to decide where you want your mouthpiece to go. Do you want it to go on the end here? Do you want it to go in this main area? So think about where you might want that. And I have a more oval type shape, but you can also make it a little bit more circular too, and I could kind of press into this and manipulate it and make it a little bit more circle-like as well. So feel free to do that if you want to. Okay, just round it out just a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an opening in this, and I'm going to come in at an angle, sort of like this, think like a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to insert the popsicle stick into the whistle. Okay, and then you're going to create an opening. So I want to leave this edge, it might be a little tricky to see, but I want to leave that angle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my popsicle stick and pull back the opening a little bit. And then you kind of have to work on the inside a little bit just to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, and then don't be afraid to take a little slip if you need to and just smooth out the opening. That ready. Just make sure your angle, you got that angle in there. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see that now. So now I'm ready to see if this is going to work. I'm going to try my mouthpiece. So I'm going to take my popsicle stick out and I'm going to just make sure you don't have any built up clay inside of there. You want to make sure you're able to get air through there. So now here comes the fun part, is you get to try out your whistle. So what I actually do is if you hold your hands like this, you won't be able to see me actually try it, but hopefully you will hear it right away. Hold your hands like this and put it over top of the mouthpiece, and then that way you're not getting clay on your lips because it can be a little awkward. But I'm going to position my mouthpiece directly over top of that angled part, and I'm going to try it. So you can hear that whistle right away, okay? Kind of sounds like a train. So I got kind of lucky and got it the first try. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some extra clay, and first and foremost I just want to get this piece attached on there. So I'm going to take some clay and I'm just going to put it on either side just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to try it again to make sure it's still working. Sounds good. So now I'm going to take some more clay. And you just want to be careful for this part because you want to make sure you're going to get all the clay around it, but you're not moving your mouthpiece. So now what I can do is I can take my popsicle stick and I can blend the clay on there. And you can just get enough clay on there so it's not going to go anywhere. Then you can go back and smooth. And then you're able to create your whistle in just an object. You can make it, you know, a piece of food. I've had students do strawberries before. It could be an animal. I already mentioned I've seen birds and dinosaurs, different dragons. I had a minion whistle once. So there's a lot of different possibilities. You could also just add some decoration to your whistle. I've had a student make a clay flower and add it on, so that works too. And as you're blending your whistle together, blending the mouthpiece on, just try it once in a while to make sure it's working. Mine's still working, so we're good. It's just a shame when you get it all hooked on and then you find it doesn't work anymore. It can be very frustrating. So work slowly and carefully to get that mouthpiece hooked on. And then I'm going to continue working on this, so go ahead and watch part 3, and then I'll show you how you can turn your whistle into an object.